Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Sorry I look a little bit creepy today, but that's because we're going to be telling a scary story. Kind of. Hopefully it scares somebody. I don't know, it might be really lame. But, sorry, I'm turning down my TV. Anyways, the story is called The Basement, and I'm going to read it to you. Growing up, my father always told me I was a follower, not a leader. On an almost daily basis, he would say to me, "Boy, you've got to forge your own path in life, instead of fooling around with those knuckleheads you call friends." He was, of course, correct. But when I was a teenager, that kind of wisdom went in one ear and out the other. In my mind, I was invincible. I knew everything, and I could get away with anything. I was wrong. My friends and I fucked with the wrong person. I spent 2 years in a psychiatric facility and am a shell of a person I was before. In high school, I fell in with the wrong group of friends. We were a merry band of burnouts, jocks, and assholes. We all played junior varsity football our freshman and sophomore years of school. We clowned around during school, smoked weed before practice, and never saw the field during games. It was no surprise to anyone when we didn't make the varsity team our junior year of school. We suddenly found ourselves too much free time on our hands. Now that we didn't have to attend football practice for 3 hours each day, we took a hangout around town after school, smoking and sometimes drinking when we could find someone to buy us booze. Tyler, who was definitely the ringleader of our little group, eventually got us into petty theft. He was your typical spoiled rich kid. His parents were always working, never home, so they bought his affection with gifts, gave him whatever he wanted. So, of course, he grows up to become an asshole. This kid, for whatever reason, loved to steal. It was definitely for the thrill of it, since he had a daddy's Amex in his wallet and could buy whatever he wanted. On a typical afternoon, we'd get out of school around 2:30 and drive around town smoking, sometimes boozing. We'd always rode with Tyler in his brand new SUV. I had a shitty Honda Civic that I had bought after a summer of working, while our other two friends, Chris and that is such a racist name, Ahmed, couldn't afford cars. Tyler would choose a store and give us a laundry list of items to steal. Ahmed would usually be tasked with distracting the clerks while the rest of us made off with whatever we could get our hands on. We'd then sell whatever we got on eBay and split the profit. I could tell that Tyler was getting bored with the petty theft by the time senior year rolled around. He invited us over one weekend, and I could tell he had something planned by the idiotic grin on his face. We smoked weed, ripped shots of tequila, and played video games until around midnight. Tyler said he was bored and decided that we needed to go for a joyride around town. However, once we were in the car, Tyler drove us further out into the suburbs away from town. He refused to tell us where we were going until we stopped outside a large house. He turned to us, motioning towards the dark house, and said, "Yo, this guy is loaded. My dad told me this guy came into his office the other day and insured $500,000 worth of rare coins." Chris pumped a fist in the air and drunkenly slurred, "Hell yeah, man, screw that guy, let's get paid." Tyler extended his fist to Chris for a pound and said, "That's my boy right here." Then turned to Ahmed and me and said, "What about you two?" Ahmed looked at me and then down at the floor. I don't know, man. Stealing shit from a store is one thing, but breaking into some guy's house is goddamn serious." Tyler's face reddened, and I could tell he was about to tear into Ahmed. Me, being a spineless shit that hated confrontation, jumped in and said to Ahmed, "Dude, you could buy a sick car for yourself if we got those coins." Tyler regained his composure and said, "Y'all need to man up. The guy isn't even home. He's in fucking Europe or some shit right now. Have some faith in me. Have I ever gotten you guys caught?" Ahmed reluctantly agreed to join in, and we passed around the handle of tequila until we finished it. Tyler pulled out a black bag and passed out black mask and gloves. "Fucking legit," slurred Chris as he pulled on his mask. Tyler smiled and pulled on his own mask. He said, "Okay, here's the plan. We go around the back and check the windows. If they are locked, then we break the glass and let ourselves in. I looked up this guy's insurance application in my dad's office. He has no security system, so we have nothing to worry about. We exited the SUV and crept around towards the back of the house. The windows were all locked, so Tyler picked up a rock and smashed a small hole in the nearest window. We boosted Chris in first, and Tyler told him to scope the place out. "Looks empty," Chris drunkenly yelled out. The three of us standing outside flinched, and Tyler muttered to himself, "Goddamn lightweight." When we were all inside the house, Tyler instructed us to split up and search the first floor. I was searching through a cabinet when I heard Tyler yell at Chris, "Put the speaker system down. We came here for the coins." Where I just lost my place. After 10 minutes, we regrouped and decided to split up. Chris and Ahmed would search upstairs while Tyler and I checked out the basement. The basement door had a thick padlock on it, but Tyler laughed and said, "Why put a padlock on a cheap wooden door? What an idiot." He easily kicked in the door. Okay. There was no light switch near the door, so we descended the stairs using the glow from our phones to guide us. Fuck. Okay. Sorry. A small hallway at the bottom of the staircase led to another door. This door was made of steel. Tyler immediately started kicking the door. He gave up after the third kick and began ramming his shoulder against the door. He slumped to the floor, cursing. After a second attempt at smashing the door, I was about to suggest to Tyler that we admit defeat and go back upstairs. Maybe we could find something else of value. I stepped forward to jiggle the door handle and found that the door was unlocked. Tyler shot me a dirty look from the floor and said, Why the hell didn't you tell me it was unlocked?" He pushed past me and through the door. We found ourselves in a small room crowded with trophy cases and paintings on the wall. Tyler stepped closer to one of the trophy cases and found it full of rare coins on display. "Jackpot," he whispered. He opened up the case and began stuffing the coins in his bag. I began looking around the room, guided by the light of my phone, and became increasingly disturbed by what I saw. On the wall were paintings of torture from various time periods spanning the last thousands of years. One painting showed a young boy being lowered headfirst into what looked like a boiling vat of oil. Another painting depicted a woman being burned alive above a fire, skewered like a pig. Tyler," I said, my heart pounding. "Shut up and make yourself useful," he snapped. "Check out the other trophy cases." And this video is getting a little long, so I'm going to end it and put it into 2 parts.